Remember, you don't want to just take any ride that it offers you. You want to be a little selective. So, the first thing that you can do to make more money is to drive to an area where you can get better rides. So, the next couple of slides show how to do that. And then the other thing to do is if the ride looks like there's a lot of non revving time in order to make just a little bit of money, you want to blow that one off too. So, in order to maximize your money, you want to be careful on what rides you select. I'll have a lot of information on how to do that. So, good luck. Here are instructions on how to get the app to give you wait times for an area. You'll notice on the center screen where it says Go Online right at the beginning, to the right of Go Online under the arrow are two horizontal lines. Click the horizontal lines and they will bring up the next screen, which very close to the bottom says Wait Times. Click on the Wait Times and it will bring up a grid with wait times for different areas. So like 1 to 3 minutes for a ride, 4 to 12 minutes for a ride, and just find an area that looks good. Tap it with your finger and then hold it. And then it'll bring up a navigate button and it'll let you navigate to that area you want to go to, which is a really handy feature. So this way you can get to an area where a short drive will bring you lots of rides. When you first go online, it's going to show you a lot of areas with bonuses. You'll find that on the first screen. $7 bonus, $3.50 bonus, $2.50 bonus. They're kind of color coded, so pink and red are the bigger bonuses and blue are the smaller ones. Be a little cautious of chasing those. I've tried to get into those bonus areas, and there are a couple problems that you have. The first one is right before you get into the area, it'll offer you a ride, and if you take it, then you miss out on the bonus because you weren't within the bonus area. The second thing is the bonuses come and go really quickly. I've seen really good bonuses a minute away. By the time I drive to them, they're gone. So be careful of chasing those. In fact, be careful of chasing all the bonus things. For the most part, if you stay where you are and just take every ride it offers, you're going to be better ahead. But it depends on where you are, how long the rides are. So pay attention to that, and pretty soon you'll know what's best for you. Here is the first ride that Lyft has offered us, and it's not remarkable, to be honest with you. You have to drive 3 miles, which they're estimating will take 7 minutes in order to get just a 1 mile ride, which will be 4 minutes long. So another screen to the right shows another offering, and that's a 19-minute ride just to give a 17-minute ride. I probably wouldn't accept that one either, because if you're at a busy area, you don't have to wait long for it to offer another. The only reason that you would want to take short, choppy 1 mile rides is if you're trying to hit some kind of a bonus or a mass numbers of trips. Like if you signed up for Lyft and you do 220 rides within 30 days, you want to take those short rides because if you take the long ones, you won't miss the target. This ride is a little bit better. We'll probably go ahead and take this one. This one is going 9 minutes to get a 13-minute ride, so that's a little better. In order to accept the ride, just push the accept button. If you don't want to accept the ride, remember you only have 10 seconds to decide. If you can't get it accepted within the 10 seconds or you don't want the ride because you don't like the way it looks, just ignore it and it'll drop off your screen in 10 seconds and then you're all done. Okay, we've arrived at our ride. We've hit the arrive button. You'll see it's counting down 5 minutes. We have 4 minutes and 14 seconds left for our passenger to show up. And when they show up, we'll just hit the slide to pick up and then everything will be all dialed in and locked in. You don't want to wait too long to activate the arrive button because if you do and they don't show up, you can wait and wait and wait and wait. And some of them order way before they're ready to go. And you wind up waiting like 10, 15 minutes, and that's all non-revving time. So you want to be cautious of that. Do when you first get into the car is give it a little bit of a pre-flight. Make sure the back of the car is kind of clean for them, that no passengers from yesterday left any stuff. And then you also want to get your passenger seat forward a little bit. So if you move your passenger seat forward, there's more leg room for whoever sits on this side. And then if somebody tries to sit directly behind you, you can say there's more leg room on the other side. I personally don't like people sitting directly behind me. I'd rather have them on an angle, especially if they're going to help me navigate. I can look over and see what they're doing. This is a summary of how much you made on the last ride that you gave. It also has your current location so you have an idea where you are. The last ride, we only made $5. These short rides do not accumulate very quickly, so you want to be a little cautious and realize you're gonna drive all day for 30 or 40 bucks. So be careful with it. Okie dokie. Michelle is our first ride. We've already accepted the ride and we've navigated to the pickup area. We're just coming up on the pickup and we have the arrive option. Remember, we want to hit the arrive option as soon as it shows up because it starts the 5 minutes counting down of how long you have to wait for them. And if they don't show up, you don't want to sit around all morning waiting for them. So click the arrive, and then when they get there, okay, we're getting ready to give Michelle a ride. We've already accepted the ride and we've driven to pick her up. You'll see that she's a little yellow person to the right of the arrow. That's how you tell. So you navigate around to get her. Then once you get her and you have her in the car, you slide to pick up, and that starts the ride. And then when you go from the ride, um, remember that you want to hit arrive as soon as you get there and then slide to pick up once she's in the car. So that way, if you wait to hit arrive until she shows up and you've had to wait 5 or 10 minutes, you don't get paid for that. So you want to hit the arrive button as soon as it shows up, and then slide to pick up once you have her in your car. The next slide shows a little summary of the ride. It's 8 minutes, 2.3 miles. It's a fairly short ride, but it'll be easy. So we took it and we're going to go and do it. Then once we get to where we're going to drop her off, then we just slide the drop off and then it will let us review her and rate her. So your passengers are rating you, but you get to rate them as well. It's fairly easy. You just push it and send it to Lyft and they take care of everything else. Now that Michelle is in the car and we've slid over that she's in the car, it's going to show us our navigation. And if we give the navigation a quick glance, you have to drive a little bit in order for the map to orient itself. But this is going to show we're going to go out to a road, then we're going to turn left. And then at the first light that we come to, we're going to make another left. So there's several things to realize there. And the first is the light is our navigation aid. When you get to the light, you turn left. So if you remember that, it makes it a lot easier to navigate. There's also stop signs icons. So between the stop signs and the traffic lights and the roads that come before, it makes your navigation task a lot easier. So we're going to go left out the main road and then left at the traffic light, remembering that for the first little bit that we drive, the GPS is still orienting itself and it might turn you around 180 degrees. So be cautious of that. It's done it to me before. Just a reminder to slide to pick up. We've waited about 46 seconds so far, and Michelle has just shown up, so we're going to slide to pick up. So we're going to get a general overview of our ride with Michelle. It's 8 minutes long. It's 2.3 miles. Hit the button that says navigate underneath the plus sign, and that will start your navigation and get you on your way. You can also use your two fingers to pinch in the map and it will show you the whole entire route, and then hit navigate to get back into the screen. So we finished our ride with Michelle. All you need to do is slide the little slide thing down at the bottom to drop her off. Make sure that you don't forget to do that, because if you forget to do the slide thing and you drive away, the Lyft thinks that the ride is still going on, and that will cause problems later. So try and remember to slide that every time you drop somebody off. Then it's time to move on to the next ride, which hopefully you've gotten one added on at the end of the last ride. But if not, do the same steps as before. Drive to an area with short wait times and see what it serves you. Here's a ride that it offered us before we finished with Michelle. And this is a nice ride. We only have to go 2 miles in order to get a 5-mile ride. And if you notice under the word Lyft, there's the $3 bonus. We have somehow stumbled into a bonus area and we're getting a little bonus. So if you want to add that to the queue, as soon as you push that you drop Michelle off, it'll load it into the screen for you and then you can navigate there. It's really easy. This is just a screenshot.
Passengers will tell you
up on a
that they
drop-off point.
might want to go
You know
slightly
that this
past
is the
that. They want
drop-off
to drop
point
off on the right
because if
side.
they
They
want
want
to
to
pick
drop
up the
off on the
little
left side.
yellow stick
Ask them where
figure
they
would
want
be
to go.
there.
They
It's
like
not. So
that.
this
And
is a
it's
drop-off.
not too
So
difficult
it gives you an
generally
idea.
to
You're coming up on the
just
drop-off.
move them
Now
to a
you
different
can
part
ask
of the
your
block and
passenger.
drop.
I think I already covered this, but one of the things that's handy in this app is here are 3 lanes going in your direction, and it recommends you stay in the right 2, not in the left turn lane. And that can be handy to stay out of lanes that you don't belong in so you don't have to panic when you get near an intersection. So pay attention to that. It's very helpful. I didn't know what it meant for quite a while. This ride also, you can use the traffic signals as a navigation aid. You're just going through an intersection right now. You can just see the tip of it past the arrow. And then there's 2 that are fairly close together. So the one, you're not going to count the one you're going through. And then the 2, there's 2. And so the third one is where Walnut Street is. So when you start coming up on the third light, you want to be in the left-hand lane looking to make your turn. This is a screenshot of a ride that we've been served. We're driving the ride right before this. You'll see it says add to the queue. Remember, you have 10 seconds to decide if you want to take this ride or not. It's not bad, 8 minutes for a 9-minute ride. It could be better, it could be worse. So we'll probably go ahead and accept it. But remember, you have 10 seconds and just tap that add and it'll put it into the queue. And then if you decide later you don't want it, you can go ahead and cancel it. But at least grab the ride because once it's gone, it won't come back. This is where we're going to drop off Michelle and we're going to start our next ride. So hit the navigate button and it'll take you for directions to your next ride. Another reminder not to forget to slide to drop off. If you don't slide to drop off, the app will think you still have your passenger with you and it'll just cause problems. So remember to slide to drop them off when they get out. This is kind of a funny ride. This one has a stop. So you want to head to the drop off. And this one you want to handle a little bit differently. You want to be careful of sliding prematurely because you can accidentally end the ride without meaning to. So pay attention. You want to head to the drop off. Then when you get to the drop off, you want to wait at the drop off. And when you wait at the drop off, assuming they come back within the allotted time, then you want to continue to the destination. But just be careful with what it's telling you, or you can accidentally cancel the ride and then you don't get paid, which is a drag. Don't forget to go offline when you're done taking rides for the day. If you accidentally stay online and you turn down all those rides that it serves you, it'll trash your rating and then you'll get in trouble later on. So don't forget to turn it. Plus, it's annoying. So don't forget to turn it off. The next several screenshots have text on them, and they're just things that I was able to capture on screen that I wanted to show you. So check them out, look them over, see what you think. We want your first day to be smooth. Beginning is you need to exercise some caution with your driving. Have it smooth and not choppy. Make sure you get there on time. Lyft measures everything and scores you on it. And the scores are important because they affect what rewards levels you can get. So if you don't have an approval rating of like better than 4.9, then you can't go to gold level, platinum level, and the other levels where you get discounts on things and some free stuff. So you want to be careful of that. I got in trouble right at the beginning from it taking too long to get to my car and start the ride. And your passengers can see your car, whether or not it's moving. And a couple of times it didn't move fast enough because I live on the 3rd floor. And by the time I come down in the elevator and get out to my car, a minute might have gone by or maybe 2. And a lot of rides were canceled and it lowered my score. And it actually got me a deactivation warning from Lyft. So you need to be careful. I'll go into a little bit more detail on that. Habit of doing is to unlock the car door and put your hazard lights on when you're getting ready to pick your passenger up. You want them to be safe when they're getting in. You want to be sure the door's unlocked because it's embarrassing if they try and get in and the door's locked and you have to unlock it. So those are just a couple of things to think about doing.